Welcome back, everybody, to the Gamers8 B stream. We have just seen one of the greatest 1v1 matches of all time as Monkey Moon able to get BDS over the line and through to the next round in the upper bracket. But also in the upper bracket, we have now got Monkeys, who might be the surprise package of this tournament, looking to take down the North American Gen.G.
I mean, we saw what Monkeys did earlier in Gen.G. This is their first series. Monkeys have the warm-up. They have the 3-0 win over NIP. So, I mean, Gen.G, you feel like they're made for this format as well. We saw the Chalkcast Duels tournament where Chronic was absolutely electric. He was on fire, making it all the way to the grand final. Appjack as well is a 1v1 main. So, they have all the tricks up their sleeve. But Monkeys, I mean, it's hard to pick against them, isn't it?
It is, because we've just seen how good they were in that previous round, and Razias especially, who needs to be, again, the ace player. He's going to be on every single game, ones, twos, whatever they are playing, Razias will be there. He needs that level of performance again, because Gen.G are a tough team to get past.
Yeah, it's going to have to take, Smokes and Matane as well to really show up here, but this is a whole different ball game. I think NIP, obviously, with the greatest respect to them, they didn't quite look on form, but Gen.G, they were pretty impressive. They had a pretty decent world champs as well. Just think this format as well suits them. I mean, Jack is so good at twos and ones. Chronic is good at twos and ones, and Nolly, I think, will be playing that Rise role Shogun of just playing threes.
Yeah, I mean, this is such a huge match as well, because looking at the format of this tournament, you win this, you're a one match away. You lose this, you drop down to take down Elevate in the lower bracket, and you've got to win 1, 2, 3 matches in a row to qualify. It is huge getting through this upper bracket semi-final.
Yeah, it's an interesting, I guess format, because you can win that first series, but if you lose, you're straight back to where everyone is. So Twisted Minds, they beat Elevate, but then losing puts them straight back to where Elevate are in the bracket in the lowers. So you really want to win this one. You want to push yourself straight through to that upper bracket final and try and qualify for the playoffs.
So I've got a quick question for you. All right, we'll go for both sides here. Depending on which team loses this first game, what do they pick between ones and twos?
Oh, that's a great point. I think that, Matane said in the interview that they'd rather twos. I believe he said. So I think if Gen.G win, they'll probably go the twos. Monkeys win, I think that Gen.G take the ones. I think that you have to back Appjack or Chronic. Chronic might be the one over Appjack in the ones at the moment. He seems to be more informed. So
where would you actually go on this? Let's say you've got two world-class ones players. Would you lock one person in, or would you play it depending on matchup?
I'd probably whoever's feeling it, to be honest. I think particularly with this one with Jack and Chronic, they're just so they're evenly matched, so I don't know.
It's difficult. It might be team by team.
I don't know.
It's like you've got some people in football. It's like, this is the penalty taker versus who wants the penalty, who's feeling up for this right now. And that very much is the pressure that ones is on, because everybody is looking over your way. And we did see in that previous matchup what that could do to players, because that was not the Venom and Monkey Moon that we get used to seeing. But hey, you take people out of ranks, you put a lot of money on the line, and you see whether or not it makes them or makes them crumble. So, well, we'll see.
That was so good. I think we need a whole highlights package of just that last 30 seconds of that 1v1. It was incredible.
I want to see a complete breakdown, like analysis of every single button press.
I want to see T-Bates analyze that whole thing, standing behind the thing, falling over. But look, it's going to be interesting here, because Monkeys, they have the warm-up. I think that's going to be massive. I know Gen.G obviously should be the favorites, but this is their first series of the tournament. Monkeys have already played 3 games, and they were looking strong. Raziers was dominant. He's going to have to step up again here, though, as we said. I think that I want to see Smokes and Matane really get active, because Raziers was, I want to say he was carrying, but he was certainly the star player and performing at a higher level than his teammates in that first series.
So we'll be able to get into this one very, very soon. For Monkeys, I mean, they've got to take at least one freeze game in a format that should really suit Gen.G. They win all of the threes games, then they will make it through. But we'll find out very, very soon. I'm getting grand final flashbacks here, CJ.
We're just testing the admin features at the moment for those playing along at home. So don't be too scared. It's certainly we've worked.
Did
you
know, by the way, that the broadcast had gone down at the grand finals? Because I didn't know that until after the event.
Apparently everything turned off, but things are going swimmingly so far. Touch wood. Obviously, we see Matane in the middle. We talked to him earlier after the win, feeling pretty confident, happy with the 2v2 matchup against Gen.G. The 1v1s with Raziers could get interesting as well. So I think it's going to be a great series.
Yeah, it should be an awful lot of fun once we do get to it. But yeah, Raziers is definitely the one to look at. I think Appjack is also the other one. Are we assuming 2's team is Chronic Appjack?
Yes, it should be. You'd have to think so. And are we getting word here right that Jorius beat Zen in a 1v1 over on the mainstream?
Always said that Zen was overhyped. That's been my
fed through.
The age of Zen is over. It's done.
Welcome to the age of Zen for 7 days.
I think there was an MMA call like that. It was like, welcome to the well, I'll go for this one, the Shogun era, and he lost the title like the next fight. So hey, it's not like I would be the first one to have maybe got that wrong. But yes, you are correct. Jorius did beat Zen.
Wow, that's massive. That is
huge.
Wow, hey, there's some things going on over on the mainstream, but here on the A stream, should I say, but here over on the B stream, we are just staring right at the back of Razier's head. And I absolutely love it. Here we are, though. We are surely going to be getting into it in a sec. A little bit of a delay. The other stream is starting off game number 3. I'm just tuning in right now. Back to the threes. It's 1-1.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's that. I mean, Oxygen, it will be a massive upset if they can go win that, because they had a really bad time of it over at Worlds. They were kind of, the forgotten team going into it, and they were a forgotten team coming out of it. I mean, even, behind G1 was kind of everyone's real focus on the European side during that. So they'll be happy to at least get some good publicity coming their way. We are now in for game number 1 between Gen.G and Monkeys, and already starting off, Smokes wants to get things rolling.
Yeah, Monkeys with so much confidence in that NIP series. We need to see it again here against Gen.G, against some of their brethren of Nolly and Appjack, formerly from the European region, obviously playing over in North America and the RLCS, but it's a great early shot from Chronic. 1-0 Gen.G.
Yeah, the North American representative on this North American squad, Chronic could not hit that any better.
It's confusing, isn't it? It's very confusing, but Chronic, that's a fantastic shot. He seems so in form right now. I mentioned it before, playing a few early off-season tournaments with the 1v1s. The mechanics are on. Jack fires it across, but no one ready. Chronic just not quite trusting that one.
Yeah, I mean, there was a player there, but maybe the patch just wasn't quite standard. Smokes read it. Incredible play by Monkeys. And I feel like Appjack and Nolly will know better than anyone else than to underestimate Monkeys.
Raziers is just the playmaker. He did it in the first series as well, firing it across goal, so hard to defend. He's got to get under it and get it up off that crossbar. They couldn't get it out, Gen.G, and Monkeys with their first goal from that playmaker, Raziers.
We've heard so often from Gen.G how they play for each other. They're not trying to be selfish. It's a little bit more of a selfish format, though. They've got to now sort of rely on their own individual abilities. The being is all about getting this first game victory. Chronic controls the ball. There's anyone to challenge. But I think NIP would inform you, Monkeys don't take challenges that they don't think they can win.
They're so defensive. Happy to sit back, let the game play out. But the thing about Gen.G, they have that physical side of things. Nolly's absolutely misread that. Chronic's last again, Matane. Not be able to reach that one, but as I said, Gen.G, they bring that physical side of things. Their bumps, their off the ball work, Nolly especially, and Appjack as well. It's going to play a factor in this series for sure.
Another big oh, what a shot! And Nolly had to scramble back. I love that he just managed to tilt the car forward, then back, and just sliced it behind the challenge. He'll stay at 1-1, but he's looked very dangerous at the moment. And here's Smokes, the goal scorer. Didn't get the reset, so just sort of handed it away to Chronic, who's had to do a lot of work on his own backboard.
Yeah, he does well, Darwin. Matane works it backwards, helps out from Smokes, gets 2 on it. No, Nolly's ready for it. Monkeys still pushing forward here as Nolly not with the best clear, but Jack goes low. That's a great touch. Nolly downfield, back to Jack. What can Jack do? He just fires it on. He's got 0 boost. There was no power. Gen.G keep the attack.
I think Jack was very surprised as well that nobody was there to meet him. I mean, he's got a potential shot in the final third, and Monkey's just stayed back, waited for it. Chronic, nice play from him. He's got time. Smokes is pre-jumped. Does get beat to the ball. Chronic can't quite pinch the ball with the ground. Getting nervy here, but Monkeys know how to play this position, but now they're in trouble. Chronic shot. There was nothing on it, but Abjack with the follow.
Just wedges it in there, back post rotation, finds himself forward, the 1-2-1, Chronic puts it on net. Jack gets the dunk off, Matane's clear, and Gen.G getting the lead under 2 minutes now. This could be the perfect start. If Monkeys were going to take this series, it would be that momentum, having played already earlier today, but Gen.G, game 1's looking pretty sweet so far.
And now it's on Monkeys to chase this game. And they can put together some magic. Smokes, though, has handed that ball away. Plenty of time. Chronic to Abjack. Abjack goes for net. Easy enough for Raziers. Raziers has not had any real time on the ball, and he's misread where that pass was going.
Yeah, too much power. Jack fires it on. Could have been perhaps a dangerous shot. Chronic's waiting, but Matane's beaten everyone here. Smokes, what can he do? Takes it high. Jack and Chronic both there. That's a handy touch for Raziers to come through. Jack drop down pass again. Matane has to backtrack now. Gen.G defending, so 1 minute left, and maybe they'll get some reward for that effort. Raziers is up though. Jack is all the way down the back.
No boost for him, and maybe Gen.G should have been 3-1 up now, but the pass, so much work for Jack to do. He's got to come in from the off angle. Wouldn't impress if he made anything of it. Smokes over to the side, but you can now see Gen.G happy to let Monkeys know how this feels. They don't need to go for anything. They won't overextend, but they will look for another one, and now Chronic has to try and play as well. Fake challenge from Raziers. They did not follow up on it correctly. Monkeys are running out of time.
Yeah, lots of panic from them as well. 25 seconds now. They have to go. It's now or never game 1. They want to get off to the best possible start. Move along into this upper bracket final of Group B. Chronic goes pushing it forward. Wants to get one more. Smokes passing it across. Matane is still there. Here is Nolly just trying to do everything to ice this game 1. Is everything here. Raziers is the man, the playmaker. He's going to go wide. And ball will eventually hit the ground. Gen.G, what a start. We thought that perhaps they'd come in cold. But, gee, they responded well. And, I mean, Monkeys look good still. They do look good, but that defense was getting a little bit panicky, Shogun.
Yeah, it really was. And you can see the difference in pace that there was between Gen.G and NIP, because the better teams make other teams look like they are playing worse. And, you know, you compare that Monkeys to the team that was taking on NIP, Monkeys had time to cook. There was no such thing in this one. They had to play it quickly. You saw how panicked they look on occasion. And we do have the call through. It is going to be a 2s game.
And interestingly, we're going to get Matane and Smokes on the 2s. I believe we had Raziers and Smokes on the 2s.
I thought Raziers was going to be every game.
On the first series. So they're going to keep Raziers on ice, which is interesting. Perhaps he's overused his, you know, he doesn't want to use too much of the magic throughout every game. But we're going to get Matane and Smokes on the other side of things. Important to note, it's going to be Chronic and Abjack, as we expected. And a perfect chance for Gen.G, I'd say, to go 2-0 up and bring it back to the 3s. We might not even see Raziers play a single 1v1 today.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a surprise. I mean, Clearly, something happened in that last game that they are not happy about. Clearly, Raziz doesn't feel like he's necessarily playing as the hot hand that he was in the opening game. So here we go, twos. And the entire time that we've been here today, CJ, nobody has opted into the ones. It's been sort of just like the leftover game mode.
Which is almost, it feels like Gamers8 was made for the ones to give a platform. Obviously the crew battles format, but the ones brings those hype matches, so much money on the line that we don't often see in that format, but everyone still loves the twos. This is the most played ranked game mode for a reason amongst the pros, and perhaps the most comfortable for most of the pros as well.
Oh, this is one that you would feel Gen.G should be the stronger of the two teams in. But now we've got smokes off the backboard. The reason why everyone likes to play twos in EU, because it is a difficult battleground to go around. Now Chronic chasing up. Apparently Jack time to set up, and Raziz actually is on the field.
It's actually taken me a long time to realize.
I just realized it myself.
Yeah, we did perhaps get fed a little bit of
a little bit of a lie on the internet. You know, I've never seen it happen before.
We may have baited.
We didn't troll you, chat. We all got trolled.
Perhaps Gen.G got trolled as well. Perhaps it was a bit of a mind game. They send one in and then last second they swap it out for someone else. No, Raziz is going to be in, and that was a great handing off as well when we did notice that he was on the pitch. It's always helpful to just cut that rotation and help your teammate out who's getting bumped. But that's a big backflip from Smokes. Jack is going to put that one away every day of the week. You can't afford those misplays in defense.
Yeah, Smokes could not respond, and after apparently Jack sort of, rubbed his eyes a little bit, blinked a few times, saw that Raziz actually was on the field, was ready to now take the lead.
Yeah, perhaps Smokes was just as surprised as us that Raziz was the one playing, and would have been the reason for the backflip there, but we'll have to find out later on. Here's Raziz. He gets a flip reset. Jack hands on the backboard. That's great control. Smokes has to back up. He has to respect the extra touch, and Jack is going to control this one. Hand off to Chronic. Beats around one. Raziz there, so patient. Can the redirect come through? Oh, Jack's in massive trouble. Didn't need the touch. Just needed the presence.
That's my favorite play from Smokes. I love this. The flying nothing. Just make them respect you. And that's exactly what they did on the goal line. That is 1-1. Monkey's back in it.
Sometimes the best play is nothing at all, and it absolutely bamboozled Jack there. He was sure something was going to come through. What can he do now? He's got boost. He's up high. Flip reset through. Raziz again. Just, they play this strategy, you'll notice time and time again here, of the player in net playing so passive and just allowing that other person to rotate through. Most of the time it is Raziz to cut rotation and help out that defense.
Well, Raziz has got the ball. He's got time. He's going to go the whole way. Instead, the early challenge just put that ball away from him. Something that has been very different between these two teams. Gen.G play very early with the first man challenge. Monkeys prefer to fake it. They don't, again, want to leave the ground.
Yeah, very interesting. They love climbing up the wall, but oh, that could have been almost a little half chance for Raziz if he could have managed to get around it. But Jack, great control again. Raziz playing the long game, grabbing boost. Jack has absolutely zero. This could spell trouble for Chronic. Jack can't get back in time, but Raziz is in trouble. That's the big misplay.
Well, at this rate, we can make a top 5 out of misplays on this B stream. We'll add that one. Or maybe give it second.
Raziz makes his first massive mistake, really, we've seen. We did see it actually in the twos against NIP as well, but let's not forget for the Monkeys enjoyers. Let's not forget, Shogun, that they were 3-0 down in the twos against NIP, and they made that comeback. So they're only a goal down here, a minute 30 on the clock. More than doable for the Monkeys.
Apparently Jack is adamant about getting this air dribble flip reset play. That is the 4th time he's tried it, and the 4th time he's been met the moment he gets the reset. I don't know if it's like time to try something else. Oh, dearie me. He's kind of set up the opponents.
Yeah, when you say try something else, probably not passing it off the sidewall. The touch was too heavy. Chronic wanted to get in, but he was just trying to let Jack do his thing. The touch wasn't great. Smokes with a fantastic shot. Just like I said, Monkeys, even when they're down, they're never out. Tied ball game again. Can they level up the series?
Apparently Jack, again, with the ball, has not really found too much success with the individual plays. Now Chronic is all by himself. He's pre-jumped, and he's just got no shot.
Smokes just catches it with the flip reset, if you don't mind. Raziers passes it downfield. Look at the first touch. Insta reset behind Chronic. Monkeys going from 1 goal down to 3-2 up in a matter of seconds.
Jack has got to change what he's doing on offense. He's just giving the ball away. It's not working. I'd like to see just some pace from him. Just trying to outplay every single time has not worked against Monkeys. Far down defensively. Now Raziers. It's a challenge. Smokes plays to his own back corner, which would be a little bit safer. Chronic up next. And Monkeys find another one. It's almost in. Instead, turned away. 30 seconds for Gen.G to work with, and that's too far away from Jack.
Almost passed it straight to him, but Smoke's got just enough power on it. This is where you just back Monkeys in every day of the week. It seems like they're so good at icing the game as the ball nearly pinches in. Smokes now with boost. 18 seconds on the clock. They're just going to do everything they can, or perhaps get the musty reset. Smokes says, we'll take the 2s. We'll bring it to 1-1 in the series.
It's fantastic, and Chronic expected the challenge to land, wanted to be there quickly, and it's not happening. Nothing is going right for Gen.G. Oh, hello, Raziers. Oh, no.
Well, hang on a minute, ladies and gentlemen. 10 seconds left. Gen.G have really thrown this game away, but they have a chance still to bring it back, force that OT. Can we see a kickoff strat? What do we have in the locker? The single diagonal. Chronic opts for the kill. Jack's right there. It's Raziers. Jack one-on-one. Raziers into the challenge. Chronic might just be able to fire it, but he's put it wide. It's going to be Monkeys walking away with the 2s, and we're heading back to the 3s.
Well, we're not exactly the stream for convincing victories right now, but it is a victory nonetheless. Monkeys tie the series back up at 1 apiece. And we've got our 3s game up next. Nolly ready to lock back in. Metane ready to lock back in. And now we're getting to the point where Gen.G might need to sweep out the 3s game, because that 1s match is going to be very spicy.
And Jack sitting there, just, he doesn't look on the pitch. Now, this is just his car body language. It doesn't look mechanically on right now, Jack. Chronic as well hasn't really come online, so that 1s game is going to be so interesting. We're guaranteed a 1v1 as well, as you said. So Raziers, on the other hand, is looking so warm. He's looking hot right now. He's ready to go. He's warmed up. Gen.G coming off that 3s. I was almost maybe falsely convinced that they were on form, but that 2s game led me to believe otherwise.
I mean, again, even despite that 2s game, they should be quite distant favorites here in the 3s matchup. But
yeah,
it's coming in. You know, this is not necessarily the same way as you would see, you know, your regular RLCS game. This is the equivalent every single time we play a 3s game of finding a team in ranked. You're going in, you don't really have the reads on them anymore, and you might just get caught out by them. And
we talk about, you know, Jack and Nolly as well moving across and how they caught out the North American region, but it just feels like Monkeys should be used to those 2 players. At least they were used to how they were playing 2s. It didn't seem too effective there. Obviously, Chronic trying to bring a bit of that North American rank style, but I'm not sure how much we love that.
Booms the pass across, and apparently Jack sees the ball just sail by him. Nolly looking for Jack again, and again he's a little bit far off, but he's caused some chaos, and Metane equal to the shot. Feels like I want to see one moment where it just clicks for Jack, because he's there and he's involved in the play.
Yeah, I feel like he's a little bit of he's a step behind at the moment. And just watching his where he should be. It feels like he's just not quite bringing up the pace. But as you said, it only takes one goal for Jack to come online. It takes one play, one moment. Matane does beat him to the ball, throws himself at it. Nolly with a big clear. Jack's right there. Great pass back over to Nolly, who's trying to find that infield, but just gets no power on it. Raziers is downfield, redirect. Matane's waiting in the wings as well, forces himself up, gets the bump on Jack. Chronic as well. Monkeys seemingly winning most of these battles, but they have handed it off to Jack.
Must be so annoying. Monkeys, when they decide to defend, and they decide to get the whole house back, it's just almost impossible. You can see Gen.G are trying so many different things. They're trying to get the lock picks out, but the lock is just too strong. The only way you can open Monkeys up at the moment is by engaging them in this sort of play, bait them forward, get them to think offense is available, and then try and take it whilst the field is more open.
Yeah, like just right here, but it's a great challenge from Matane again. Great beat out. Smokes has to control this one, takes it to the corner, grabs the 100. Man in the air, drop down, almost drops in. Matane's there, another shot on net. Matane in so much trouble, but all of Monkeys there to eventually help out. That's a great pass over to Jack. This is a double. This could bring him online. Drop down, Matane again. They are so deep in there. Monkeys so frustrating to fight against.
I mean, I just want to check at this point, because it feels like those cars are twice the size of a regulation. They just cover everything. The whole net is always completely shut off. And now Monkeys, they might frustrate Gen.G into a mistake. They almost got them there. Now across the face of goal, you'd be, very brave to catch any member of Monkeys that close to the opponent's goal line to take the shot. Again, just pulled forward a little bit, and again, almost caught by a quick shot from the opposite side of the field.
Yeah, they're getting frustrated, Gen.G. They're getting caught out. Chronic with a huge whiff. Nolly helping out again. Gen.G getting out of trouble, but every attack that Gen.G have that fails, it feels like they're getting more and more frustrated. Like you said, they're getting exposed down the other end, and this could be the perfect chance, the perfect example. Raziers takes it so high off the ceiling, but doesn't quite get it to work. Gen.G now no boost, another miss from Jack. Fails on the side wall. Gen.G in pieces right now. Nolly, the bumps are coming through. Matane turns around and says, oh my goodness, I've got a one-on-one. Chronic opts for the instant challenge. Both sides not playing perfect Rocket League, but I think this suits the Monkeys.
Well, they got the shot. Here comes Smokes. Puts the shot low, and Nolly. But he made that one look perfectly comfortable, didn't he? Chronic already up. He's already got his teammate demoed, which means that the shot has to be taken away. Raziers was climbing his way through. It's Monkeys' turn now. And I'd almost argue this might be a good thing for Gen.G, because now they can try and break away like this. They've got to get it before Monkeys set back up.
Gen.G playing a little bit of leapfrog Rocket League at the moment. A lot of double jumps on the goal line. However, they're still looking awkward. Here's Jack ceiling. One more open net demo to finish it off as well. Gen.G get the reward for effort. So much offense. Finally get a way through.
And it was as Monkeys tried to get rid of the ball. Found them. What a demo. And finally, Gen.G have broken through the wall that was set up. 45 seconds here to try and control it. And yet, this is where you're going to get your opportunities now, because Monkeys cannot sit back.
That skim was disgusting from Jack. Chronic buys it downfield, and he finds the very edge of his hitbox, bottom left corner. Monkeys get exposed for the over-aggression. There wasn't much time left. They had to force an equalizer, but they get punished for doing that.
Ollie off the wall. Still enough time here for Monkeys, but this kind of play is so slow, and it's excruciating. Just trying to get the ball on the opposite side of the field just for Chronic to get a touch. Now Matane met on the challenge, and Monkeys, they do leave themselves open to getting caught when they are a goal down, but now it's off the post. What is
13 seconds for Monkeys to get one more. They found an angle. Jack's so awkward, just double jumped him, almost passing it back to Monkeys to set up another offense. Raziers finishes it off the post. 13-second shotgun, here we go.
13 seconds before we find out who might have the advantage in the 1v1. Chronic buys some time. What a read, actually, from Smokes. Kept the ball in a playable position. Now Mitane, he's got to try and find a teammate. That first touch let him down, and that will drop down. Gen.G have got 2 match points.
And we go to the 1v1 where we have no idea who's going to do it for Gen.G. Obviously, Abjack is the candidate would be most likely, but Chronic's been on form. Raziz is just been waiting. I feel like he's a caged lion in the 1v1 format. Has a chance to bring his team to a game 5.
I just looked over. Vitality lost to Oxygen.
Sorry?
Yeah, that's a sentence that... I'm just looking over again. Yeah, Vitality did lose to Oxygen. You know what? The age is Zen. It's a bygone era. We need to stop living in the past, really. And we need to look forward to this 1v1. And it is going to be... Let me have a look. Ski. It is going to be Chronic versus Raziers.
So Oxygen.
You good there, CJ?
Oxygen.
Yes.
Oxygen beat Vitality.
Yes.
Okay,
the forgotten European team. The one that...
I don't care. Who cares about Vitality anymore? They're a forgotten team. No, whatever. Oxygen, best team in the world. And, well, Chronic's looking like one of the best 1v1 players in the world, but he's got to come up against Raziers, who, as I said, he has played more 1v1 show matches. I said he's basically paying rent on Johnny Boy's stream at this point. It's Chronic kicking it off here with the first attack, tries to go low. He's just been so in form in the 1v1s. He's been grinding as hard as anyone in the world. Lost to Moxie in the off-season tournament grand final, but Moxie's just about the best ones player in the world here. Raziers, he said, I feel like he's a caged lion, Shogun. It's good to see him finally on the 1v1 pitch. He's been waiting. He didn't get his chance against NOP. I'm sure he wasn't complaining with a 3-0. But he's starting off strong. Reset. Chronic's there. Great defense. Perhaps an open net. Raziers tracking back. Does get back in time. And just fires it down the other end. Counter-attack on counter-attack. Raziers gets the first.
Oh dear. Chronic completely forgot about the situation he was in. Thought it was the easy play to steal the boost. And I love that in ones, the skill ceiling is so high. You're so worried about the massive mechanical plays. But sometimes people just forget. You can just hit the ball really hard.
Just got a pinch off of it, Chronic, straight away. Perfect flick. Just sold Raziers everything he had, and Raziers bought all of it.
Yeah, Raziers was side on, so he's not really got many defensive options for himself. Played what he thought he had to. And Chronic just far too quick. What I do love is, like, compared to the last matchup that we had for the ones, this is a much faster pace. Both of these players want to be on the ball as much as possible. Like to go for the outplays. Raziers especially, he will just ball chase everything that he possibly can.
And he's going to wear down the boost of Chronic. He's going to try and get a bump. Throw him off for his game. Chronic has to force it forward. He's getting bumped off it, but Chronic somehow dodges the bump in one way or another, grabs the mid boost, but Raziers also has 100 of his own, goes high. Chronic's right there, and this could be a chance if he can just fire this straight on net. Perfect touch. Raziers is overcommitted, and Chronic gets the lead.
Yeah, that's one of those moments that Chronic just says, yeah, I'm smarter than you. I know where you're going. That was far too obvious. And just swipes the ball, steals it off the top of his car.
All-important lead early, and he's looking to continue this 1v1 that we've seen in, as I said, of late. Certainly one of the most informed players in the world, has been outside that top 10 from the unofficial 1v1 rankings, but really cemented his spot right into it lately. As he has said, Jack, you can wait, mate. You can wait for the threes if it comes, but I'm going to try and ice this one out. Game number 4, Raziers, as you said, Shogun, just staying on the ball. Ball chasing.
Raziers is that guy
strong.
that you run into, and you
Very
just think
annoying.
to yourself, have you got like unlimited boost on?
Just
How are you
get off.
still here?
Leave.
Well, Chronic's taking it into his own hands, and depending on the bounce, he might have a goal-scoring chance here. Wanted to try and slice across it. And now Raziers off the bump. He might actually have the shot, couldn't find the angle. And off that, Chronic, he'll walk it into the net.
Raziers went for a tough angled shot and just cost him. There you see it off the side, just bounced out more than he thought. couldn't get the car around it, and Chronic walking that one in. I feel like Chronic's playing well, but Raziz has gifted him a couple of cheap goals.
Yeah, Raziz is, I think, playing to his win condition. It's just not there at the moment. It is very much reliant on his own mechanics. He asks a lot of himself. And maybe on occasion asking a little bit too much. Oh, what a flick. That's hit this crossbar, and he's got the read. So dangerous that you might get those wrong, but Raziz got it perfect.
Just had the ball on a perfect spot in his car. He could flick it on a moment's notice, and as soon as you saw Chronic commit, got the perfect pop over the top, able to follow it up as well. Does get a goal back. Just trying to, as you said, he's adopting that ball chase style, but he's got to try and outsmart Chronic as well, and that's what he did. Faked out the boost grab, stayed on the ball. We're all tied up again.
Yeah, that little bump on Chronic wiped him out. And it's those small moments. And the thing is I can believe that Raziz can get the bump plays on Chronic. But over the last, I don't know, how many games we watched? 5, 6 matches of Raziz? I don't think I've seen him bumped once. It's like he just disappears whenever anyone tries to hit him.
Some people are just like that. They're untouchable.
Oh,
so
there you go.
Here's the edge roll bump attempt.
What is this?
Raziz, again,
oh, there you go.
His defense is incredible, but you cannot defend sometimes getting removed from the pitch. Chronic walks it in, gets the lead again. Raziz dodging everything, but you can't dodge that.
No, certainly not. I mean, I was incredibly impressed that he even got the first one. There was no chance he was getting the second. That was bullying there, Chronic. Big kickoff, and Raziz can play this now. Gonna go for the outplay. Wants the challenge, maybe? Yeah, just far too heavy on each of the touches. Now Chronic trying to just blast away. Again, Raziz bumped. It seems like the moment I've mentioned this now, I've maybe taken away that little bit extra from him.
So close there, Raziz again. Getting caught out for being a little bit too aggressive off the spawn, but gets away with it, flicks it over the top. Chronic's not biting for the moment. There it is. Backflip challenge. Here's Chronic now. Tries to go the low 50. Just sends it straight into his own net. Raziz ties it up once again.
Just does not go away. And again, Chronic just played it too heavily. He had a good idea. You're on the wall. Your recovery will always usually be good. But the touch was so heavy that it opened the angle back up. Oh, the leg kickoff.
The worst 50 possible. And
yes. Great idea, worst execution.
Both players making mistakes, and similar to the first 1v1 we saw today with Monkey Moon taking on Venom. And almost a shot. Perfect save from Raziz. Had to really throw everything out to get every inch of that hitbox as Chronic with 100. Raziz has to back off. He can only grab pads. Chronic tries to go fast. Raziz is there. Perhaps not the right shot from Chronic.
Now they're playing for that mid boost. Raziz gets it and avoids being demoed. Chronic has to avoid the demo now. He's got tripped up. Just trying to get in each other's way as much as they can. Chronic crushes through the challenge. Again avoids the bump. But little things. And most of it seems to not be who can play the ball, it's who can hit the other one. And Chronic's kind of, just been handed away here. Raziz is done, he's leaving.
That's pretty smart from Chronic though. Fakes it out so he can grab the 100 and gets the solo off the roof. Does he go the fake? Does he go, oh, he's faked everything. Raziz is in shambles. Is that going to be the winning goal, the series winning goal for Gen.G?
In a tournament like this, with so much on the line, Chronic just embarrassed Raziz.
Absolutely disgusting gameplay with the biggest prize pool in Rocket League. Here we go, Raziz. He's going to have one last crack to keep Monkeys in the upper bracket. He's got the flip. He goes to shot, but Chronic meets him and says, we're moving on in the upper bracket. Sends Monkeys down. Chronic stepping up for Gen.G.
And that locks in Group B. It will be BDS against Gen.G for a place in the top 8. The other one will have 2 chances to try and move on. What a way to finish that. That was absolutely incredible. And it turned out Chronic had the ice.
He did. That was a massive save. I mean, Raziz had the flip off the ceiling. He had everything going for him. He fired it high, but Chronic was just ready. He could have got faked out. I would have loved to see Raziz fake him back, but there was just not enough time on the clock there. It was the last second. But Chronic, that winning goal, Shogun. I mean, we saw some shambolic 1v1s coming out of Monkey Moon and Venom. But on the other things, to do that, Chronic, that is the highest level. I love that. As you said, with all the pressure on him, stepping up and throwing a disgusting double fake, just putting it behind Raziz certainly shows he's got that land ice.
Well, let's have a look at some of the highlights from that series. As previously mentioned, Gen.G moving on. They will take on BDS in the next round. But they had to fight for it. Monkeys will be a dangerous squad in that lower bracket.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Gen.G, really one of the favorites, perhaps the best team coming out of North America, at least in that 1v1 with the format. Chronic so in form. Feels like he's going to nearly win every 1v1 he touches. Obviously, Abjack as well, just in case Chronic isn't feeling it. But as you said, Monkey's so impressive. They're looking good in the 3s. They're looking good in the 2s. And in the 1s, I mean, you know, Raziz losing, you know, in the 1-goal game against Chronic it's nothing to really get too upset about.
Yeah, that's going to be... let's go for a day early prediction, shall we? Because there's a little mini tournament that happens for us to then see who plays the loser between BDS and Gen.G. So, who wins the mini tournament? Elevate, Monkeys, NIP, or Twisted Minds?
Ooh, I think Monkeys look the best of those just in the format, but a Twisted Minds you have to put up there as well. I'll go Monkeys because I know you want to go Monkeys, so you have to go Twisted Minds.
Oh, I'll double down on this. What do you mean? I'm not Wave Punk. I don't need a split desk over here. All right, I know when I see a winner, and I think I'm going to go with Monkeys. But let's also see another winner, shall we? Apparently, Jack. Congratulations on your victory. I kind of want to come over to you on this one pretty early because Chronic played the ones game. Obviously, you yourself are an incredible ones player. What's that like for you, sort of having to peer over the shoulder rather than being on the field?
It's extremely nerve-wracking, far more nerve-wracking than, you know, playing myself. Because obviously, being a high-level ones player, I have my own opinion on what should be happening, what he should be doing in games. So, you know, when I see a play and it doesn't quite unfold how I want it to unfold, I'm like, but, you know, you have to remind yourself you're not the one playing. You have to take a step back and let Chronic, who also is an incredible ones player, take over.
This tournament, Jack, seems pretty tailor-made for your team. I mean, a lot of players have a really good ones player, or sometimes they have a couple, but let alone you two who, you know, are in the top 10 of the 1v1 scene. Do you feel like, you know, I guess, what are your expectations? Where you see yourself? What would you be happy with in this tournament in terms of placement?
Obviously, you know, every player is striving for first place, and I hope it doesn't come across that I'm not wanting to win when I don't say first. But I'd be happy with, you know, a top 4, top 2. I think anything below there, you know, we've kind of perhaps not done as well as we could have. Like I said, you know, everyone wants to, you know, win, and I do believe we have the capability to win. But realistically, a top 4 we'd be happy with.
And for you guys, what is sort of the strategy moving forward in the ones? Is this going to be now Chronic locked in for the tournament as the hot hand, or is this going to be something that changes depending on matchup?
It's definitely not locked in. You know, we have the advantage of having 2, you know, top-level ones players, like you said, but we also have the advantage of those 2 players, myself and Chronic, being extremely different in terms of playstyle and how we, you know, go towards the game. So it's not locked, but I have faith in Chronic. I have, you know, faith in that he can, you know, carry on getting these wins. But if he isn't feeling confident, or if I'm feeling extra confident, we always cater to the team's needs, and we'll always do whatever is best for us to have the best chances to win.
Jack, you probably have already caught wind, but Oxygen beating Vitality, Jorius beating Zen in a 1v1. Can you just provide some comments on that?
I had no idea.
They won 3-2.
What was the series
Oxygen 3-2.
3-2.
Oxygen 3-2. Jorius won the 1v1. I can pull it up for you. So we've got Vitality won the 3s. Oxygen then won the 2s. Oh, sorry. Jorius won the 1s. 5-4 against Zen. And then they won the 3s against Vitality 2-0. And then
Wow,
Vitality
yeah.
won the 2s 6-2, and then Oxygen won the 3s in game 5.
Fair enough. I mean, Yoris is a player that has he has incredible potential, and if he plays like he can, then he's the best in the world in ones. Zen's absolutely insane, so I wasn't going to expect that. But yeah, fair play to Oxygen. I love that team. They're good friends of mine, and I'm happy for my former teammate to get that win. Hopefully, they can go far.
And one final question for you regarding your matchup tomorrow against BDS. Now, let's say you guys take game number 1 in the 3s. What do you expect BDS to send? A 1s match or a 2s match?
That's an interesting question. It all depends on the day. Rocket League's a game where it all depends on the day. I think if Monkey's feeling good in ones, he can be exceptional. Judging from the 1v1 I saw earlier versus Venom, that was a nervous one, but I'm sure that was just
it was a fun time.
So it was. I was that woke me up. It was quite cool to watch. But I think that Monkey's incredible at ones, so we'll see what they do. I think they're going to be tough in every game mode.
All right, well, thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
Right, so apparently Jack happy to let Chronic do the work in that series, but maybe we'll see some more of him. I think after what we saw, as you mentioned, from the Monkey Moon Venom 1v1, I also wouldn't be exactly like frothing to get straight into the ones games.
No, look, I love Jack. Jack, just when he gets on it, you talk to Jay normally, you're just hanging out with him. But as soon as he gets in front of that camera, he is just the PR merchant. He is so professional. Absolutely love it. But it was great to see he was as surprised as we were as well, Shogun, about that Oxygen Vitality win. So Oxygen beating Vitality, should I say, Joris beating Zen. So a lot of upsets, and I'm sure there's many more to come, Shogun, because we have plenty more series in store.
Yeah, we absolutely do. And when we come back, we'll get into our next group.